I can do anything. I can reach any goal today. I can do what I want. I can be what I want to be.
My name is Blong Yang.
My name is Gajua Gongta.
Dr. Baku Marya.
My name is Miley Zhang.
Hi, my name is Kong. I am a structural technician at HGA.
I'm the City Council member for Ward 5 in Minneapolis.
I'm an account manager here at Compass Marketing in Minnetonka, Minnesota.
I'm a foot and ankle physician, surgeon / podiatrist.
I am the Chief Operation Officer for Community School of Excellence.
As a City Council member, I'm one of 13 people who make decisions for the City of Minneapolis. The City Council essentially runs the City of Minneapolis. We make a lot of decisions on what happens in the city, whether it's businesses, street repavements, reconstructions of roads, any of those things. Those are the things that we take care of on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I do a lot of stuff. But I think the goal here is that to make sure that operation of the school is working so that the teachers and the staff are able to focus and help students in the classroom on a daily basis.
So imagine playing Minecraft, but with a more sophisticated software, and that's what I do. Except at the end of the day, you turn your video game off, my buildings get built in the field. So I help the engineers construct documents and models so that the people in the field can build these buildings.
I deal with all foot and ankle medical conditions, including soft tissue of the hand.
I work with manufacturers that want to sell their products to major retailers like Target, Best Buy, Bed Bath & Beyond, etc.
I went to a four-year college, the University of California, Los Angeles, or UCLA. I got my political science bachelor's degree there, and then after that I went to law school at the University of Minnesota Law School, and I got my JD there, and then I got my law license shortly thereafter after passing the bar exam.
My undergraduate, I focused on business administration. My graduate work, I went for Master of Public Affairs. I stayed in the areas that I was interested in.
I attended CBTC, it's a technical college in Wisconsin, for their Civil Structural Technician program. It's an associate's, it's a 2-year degree.
I started out at the University of California, Irvine, and then transferred to University of North Carolina, Charlotte. I majored in biology. I always thought that, I've always wanted to be in the medical field.
I went to the University of Wisconsin-Stout, graduated in 2005. I majored in business administration.
Gosh, it's been over 20 years, and I can tell you, some of the classes that were the most important classes for me were English composition classes or writing courses. They really help you to learn how to write well, and that was, a big chunk of what I did in my professional life was to write a lot.
I would have to say some classes that are really important is communication, because you have to deal with people, you have to deal with families, you have to deal with students, you have to work with teachers and staff. So it's important to be able to communicate.
Well, my program involves a lot of drawings, so we did a lot of AutoCAD and a lot of 3D modeling, a lot of math, a lot of structural analysis.
I did all the chemistry and all of the biology courses that was needed for medical school.
I took a lot of business classes such as business law, business literature, lots of economics classes.
Some of the misconceptions are that, we're all powerful, that we do everything, and, city government is limited to what the city does. We don't do what the federal government does, we don't do what state government does, we don't do what county government does, we don't do what the school board does. We do what the city government does, and I think sometimes it's really confusing for the average person to really understand what the school board does, what the city does, what the county does, what the state does, and what the federal government does.
It's a hard one. Misconception. I don't do anything. I'll sit around and do nothing. to, oh my goodness, she does everything. She's involved with every single thing.
You know, people assume that it's a desk job and you're working on the computer all day, that it is not engaging, but it really is engaging.
I think the biggest misconception is that I do marketing campaigns for elaborate companies, but there are varying types of marketing, whereas in this field I work with companies and I try to market their products to major retailers.
For being a politician or an elected official, I mean, I think the one thing that you absolutely have to have is thick skin. You can't let people and what they say get to you personally, or professionally.
As a Chief Operation Officer, I have to deal with all types of people, students, staff, old, young. So you have to be somebody that's patient, but you also have to be someone who's really relational. So being able to build relationship, it's important. When you have to praise someone, it's easy, but when you have to discipline an employee, that makes it difficult. So you have to be able to have a foundation, be able to communicate, be able to build relationship, and be able to also make firm decisions.
You have to have communication skills, you have to work with people and try to communicate your ideas clearly on your drawings, on your projects. You have to enjoy it.
To be in the medical field, you have to be a people person. You have to like to be around people, especially sick people.
You have to be very motivated. You have to be able to be adaptable and be able to be quick on your feet, be able to solve problems as they come in every day.
In this line of work, I mean, there aren't a lot of us, and I would love to see that change. I mean, given our population here in Minnesota.
So I do not see a lot of Hmong people in this field, and I feel like there are a lot of opportunities. It's just a matter of letting them know that there are these opportunities, and a lot of people don't know that these jobs exist.
I thought I was going to be a fashion designer living in New York City, but I think when I started college, reality set in, and I'm where I'm at today.
When I was in high school, I've always wanted to be in the medical field. Thinking back, I think that was a very good advice that I had got from my parents. It was good for me to just stick to one thing, and overall, I'm happy with my decision.
Now this is where I've actually changed many careers. I just knew my biggest passion is to help others.
It was almost 7 years after high school until I decided I needed to go to college. I thought out of high school that 12 years of school was enough, and I've had enough, and I knew everything. And then I started realize when I was in the job market that without a degree, for me anyway, I wasn't going to get anywhere. So I decided to go back to college.
The thing I like about my job is I can make my own schedule, and I, doing it as a foot and ankle surgeon, I can pick and choose the time for my surgeries.
I think by nature, I loved education, and for me, it was just a no-brainer. I knew that if I wanted to be successful, I would have to attend college in order to get to where I'm at today.
If I had to do again, focus more. Focus on the importance of the education and the topic at hand. I don't think I realize now that as I reflect back how much I can really have gotten out of the college classes, and how it applies to my daily lives.
The advice that I would give the Hmong youth would be to network and to build your breadth of network, because you never know who might know who, and that could lead to where you're at today.
In terms of advice, I would say two things. One is, contact an elected official and, see if they will allow you to go shadow them for a day, or see if they can, give you some time to talk with them about what they do. Second thing is to get involved in political campaigns that happen, year to year.
I would tell my younger self to study, and research on what you want to do, because it's going to be your career, and that's a career it's going to be a very long time.
I think the important part is that education takes you anywhere and everywhere.